What's up, boys? Got some NBA player props for you guys today over on Prize Picks. Prize Picks, great website. Use it all the time for my player props. Use code DOMG when you guys do sign up. It's available in most states. They match your first deposit 100% up to $100. So definitely use my code when you guys sign up. A bunch of you guys have been doing that. Seriously, do appreciate you guys because it helps me out. It helps you guys out as well. But we're going to go ahead and talk about some of these player props in today's video. Yesterday's video, I believe, went 4-1, and Embiid is the one who actually screwed it over. I'll talk about that in a second. But the Patreon yesterday was great. We were perfect 8 for 8 on the individual player props, and we did 3 two-pick power plays. All 3 of them hit. So it was a great day yesterday. Not every day is going to be like that, obviously, but that's our second 100% perfect day on the entry-wise in the past 4 days. So that's pretty huge over there. But yeah, every day is not going to be like that, obviously. We had 2 bad days in between there. But yeah, we had a pretty good day yesterday. If you guys are interested in signing up, link is in my description. It's $10 a month. You guys can go ahead and join over there if you guys wish. But yeah, a bunch of you guys have been enjoying that as well. Seriously, appreciate you guys. But yeah, someone got mad at me in the comments yesterday. Always do your own research. I say this literally every single video. Do your own research. Don't go off of directly what I say. Not everything I say makes it to the Patreon at the end of the day. Usually only 1 or 2. Someone got mad at me and said like, "Hey, good job picking the Embiid. Love burning money." Yeah, that's literally the only one that lost in that video. And also, it didn't make it to my Patreon. I say that every video. Don't go off of directly what I say. So yeah. So again, I don't know how many times I have to say it for some people. Just make sure you do your own research, make your own entries, and just take a look at more into these if you guys like what you see here. So yeah, we'll go ahead and hop into it here. So free Discord also in the description. So Prize Picks link, Patreon link, free Discord all in the description. Just finally, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications. And that's going to do it, man. Let's go ahead and hop into the video here. So I got 5 different ones for you guys here today. So we got 4. We actually have 4 points that are all overs and 1 assist prop. So didn't really plan on that, but that's what we got for today. So let's go and take a look at some of these here. So the first one here is a guy who's been hitting pretty consistently, and that's going to be Malik Monk, 16.5 points. So 16.5 points is what he's at today. He's hit 4 out of 5 in his last 5. He's having 20.8 in his last 5. So he killed it the last really every game except for Memphis. That game is dragging that average down a lot. But he needs 17 points today against Denver, so might be a little bit of a tougher matchup. We'll take a look at this here, but he needs 17 here. Some quick stats here. He's 7 out of 10 in his last 10, so that's really all I got on him. He really hasn't been plugged into the lineup as much since like later recently. So all season long, his numbers are kind of skewed. So, but let's take a look at the Lakers game here. So right here, we got Malik Monk, shooting guard, going against Denver here. So 4-point spread, 224.5 over under. You love to see these right here. Perfect. Really good looking numbers right there. So nothing bad there. Let's take a look at the matchup though. This is what I'm kind of worried about. We'll see where Denver ranks. And yeah, right there, they're the 5th hardest defense against shooting guards. Let's take a look at the last 7 games though. Maybe they've gotten a little bit worse, and not really. What is that, 7th? They're the 7th worst, so, or the 7th easiest? No, not easiest. 7th hardest. Shooting guard matchup right there. So I don't know. It's going to be a tougher matchup. This guy who's been hitting this quite a lot. I'm not sure what I'm thinking there. I might not touch this one at the end of the day just because the matchup seems to be a lot tougher. So this one is one I probably won't touch. He does have a very good hit rate. I would not be surprised if he hit this, but I don't know. Matchup is very, very tough. But it is a good-looking game number-wise. His last 10 games, good trends, but I don't know. Matchup a little bit tougher here. So let's go ahead and move on. There's some better ones in my opinion, but let's take a look at we'll go to my favorite one, probably early look. But it's Spencer Dinwiddie, 16.5 points. He needs 17 today against Portland. We'll take a look at this matchup though, but the numbers are looking great. So Spencer Dinwiddie, 16.5 points, 17, 22, 8, 18, and 24 in his last 5 games, averaging 17.8 in his last 5, and 4 out of 5 hit rate in his last 5 games. So let's take a look at this here. So if we take a look, quick stats here. He's 8 for 8 in his last 8 games without Bradley Beal. So that's a pretty good look. He's had at least 17 points in 8 of his last games where Bradley Beal was not playing. So that's a really good look. So let's take a look at this game though. So Trailblazers, Washington Wizards, 7.5 point spread, which is really not great. There's a potential that this game blows out. 218.5 over under, which isn't bad. But let's take a look. You kind of want a little bit better than 218.5, but let's take a look at this here. So again, point guard going against the Portland Trailblazers. Let's take a look at this here. Point guard points against the Trailblazers. and they're one of the easier defenses. So Portland Trailblazers on the easier side defensive-wise against the point guard position. Let's take a look at the last 7 games here, and they are the second easiest in the last 7 games. Really, really good luck for Spencer Dinwiddie. This is probably my favorite play of the day. But again, always do your own research. Not everything is I'm gonna end up locking it at the end of the day, but early look, I'm liking this quite a bit here. So Spencer Dinwiddie there to grab 17. I'm liking a good amount. So, all right, let's take a look at the third one here. We're sticking with that game here. We're gonna go Kyle Kuzma. Probably not gonna be one of my favorites at the end of the day, but just because everyone is really getting healthy on the Wizards, Kuzma really stepped into that role when Harrell and all those other guys were hurt or in protocols, all that different stuff. So let's take a look at some numbers here. So he's 8 out of 10 in his last 10 games, but everyone is pretty much healthy now. So numbers a little bit skewed in my opinion. I do think Kuzma can still hit this number, but yeah, he's done pretty good last 7 games. So let's take a look at this here. So power forward going against the Trailblazers. Let's take a look at this here. So Trailblazers, what are they down to power forwards here? A little bit right in the middle-ish. Yeah, probably about right in the middle. Yeah. 20.81 is the number. I like to pay attention to more where they rank among other teams. But, all right, last 7 games here, Trailblazers. They are on the harder side. So, yeah, probably another one we might not want to touch. It's a good hit rate, but again, everyone's healthy. Probably, I don't know. I know a lot of people like Kuzma a lot. A lot of people are going to be sticking on that trend, but probably one I'm not going to touch at the end of the day. But it's definitely one we're still taking a look at. But I think, obviously, Dinwiddie is probably the better option here. Okay. Let's take a look at some more here. Let's take a look at Valanciunas over 17.5 points. So, I was looking at rebounds earlier. Rebounds didn't look too good. He had 12 last time against Brooklyn. But let's take a look at the points here. So, 17.5 points for Jonas Valanciunas. He needs 18. The rate of foul failure rate in his last 5, averaging 16.8 in his last 5. So, he did get matched up against the Golden State Warriors, which is usually a tough matchup for centers. But, okay. So, he's 6 out of 10 at hitting this in his last 10 games. And he had 20 last matchup against Brooklyn. So, that's a good look that he had 20. I believe that was this season, too. So, let's take a look at center going against the Brooklyn Nets. 6.5 point spread, which really isn't that worrisome. Usually when it gets to 7, 7.5 is when I start to worry a little bit. But 228 and over-under right there. So, no Aldridge. Claxton may play. It'd probably be even better if Claxton didn't play for Jonas. But let's take a look at points here. The Brooklyn Nets are allowing 2 centers. So this is season long. They're about right in the middle, 20.96. Let's take a look where they are the last 7 games. So Brooklyn, last 7 games is a little bit on the harder side still here. So this one is kind of a toss-up in my opinion. I don't think the matchup is too bad. It's not really that worrisome. But he did hit last time. 6 out of 10 hit rate. Kind of riding the line a little bit here. I am recording this video early, by the way, so not all these player props are on the board yet. So, yeah, there's still value, I think. Dinwiddie's got to be my favorite. I'm kind of all about Dinwiddie already this morning. But, okay, let's take a look at one more here. We'll see if we can find value in this last one. We're sticking with that game, though. We're going to go with Brandon Ingram here, 4.5 assists. So, 4 out of 5 hit rate in his last 5 games, averaging 6 in his last 5, which is good looks. Good numbers right there. Let's take a look at shooting guard against the Brooklyn Nets, assist-wise. But actually, we'll talk about some quick stats real quick. 7 out of 10 in his last 10 games. He had 5 in his last matchup versus Brooklyn, but that was last season. So, he did not play them this season, but let's take a look at shooting guard assists versus the Nets. And they're actually on the harder side. A lot of tough matchups today, it's looking like. Not exactly the most intriguing matchups today, man. Yeah, kind of in the middle, a little bit on the harder side there for assists. Yeah, there's a lot of tough matchups. If these matchups were a lot better, I'd feel a lot better about them. But the matchups, man, not exactly looking too great. So, Dinwiddie assists are kind of interesting since he's playing that facilitator role with Beal out, but kind of busted last game. Giannis assists. I've seen people on Giannis assists in the past, but man, he had 11 against Golden State. I don't know. Take a look at the board. See if there's anything of value. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are going to run up today. Float some ideas around between each other in the comments. But, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking today. Really nothing too crazy. I thought there would be a little bit more value, but there's not really this early in the morning. We'll see what we end up doing at the end of the day. But Dinwiddie has got to be my favorite for the day. So we'll see how that one ends up turning out there. But good looks, good matchup with Beal gone. 8 out of 8 hit rate in his last 8. I don't know how you could get much worse than that. So, or a lot better than that. So, yeah, that's going to do it, man. Appreciate watching. Get fan news name. If you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, answer post notifications, and that's going to do it. See you guys next time. Goodbye.